Hi, I'm Laura Meyer, and I write teaching guides for Penguin Random House Education. Today, I'd like to introduce you to 3 teacher guides on media literacy. Each guide focuses on a different grade span and addresses increasingly more complex issues in media literacy. The guides are free and available online. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll notice a couple of links and a QR code. These will all take you to a website with more information and with separate links to each guide. Before we dive into the guides, let's talk briefly about why media literacy is so important for schools to integrate with intention. We know that today's students are digital natives. They spend hours online, and they often serve as our tech experts. But research is telling us they know little about how and by whom online media is produced, or how to evaluate the content that they see. The majority of US states have passed laws or have pending legislation to address these concerns over children's mental health and their social media use. So, to address them, school systems across the country are enacting digital citizenship curriculums. These guides from Penguin Random House Education are an excellent place to begin. The set of 3 thematic teacher guides includes an elementary guide named Teaching Media Safety, a middle school guide called Teaching Media Responsibility and Digital Citizenship, and a high school guide entitled Teaching Media Leadership. Each of these guides centers around a different set of books on media literacy. Each set is reading level appropriate and includes information on the books, building knowledge, and classroom activities, and prompts for discussion and writing. Sprinkled throughout the guide are links to online tools and templates. Busy educators will appreciate that they can implement these high-quality activities the very next day. Now, one thing to note, while the guides are designed around a specific set of books, educators can pick and choose a la carte the texts and activities they want to use, depending on their instructional goals and course content. Plus, many of the activities in these guides can be tweaked and adapted to fit other titles teachers may be using. Each guide focuses on a guiding question or questions. The elementary guide, for instance, called Teaching Media Safety, includes activities designed to address these 2 guiding questions. What are the many technology traps from which we need to keep kids safe? How can we prepare children to make good choices online, even when adults or parental controls are absent? If you take a look at the table of contents from the elementary guide, you'll see lots of engaging activities that involve critical thinking and collaboration. One of them is an activity log, which challenges students to track their on-screen and off-screen leisure activities over the course of a week. The activity is suggested by First Phone, one of the texts in the set. Students can total their hours, reflect on what they notice, and set goals for the following week that reflect a healthy balance. Teachers can model how to create these logs, either handmade or digital, by using links to online templates and digital apps that are available in the guides. The activities in the middle school guide, Teaching Media Responsibility and Digital Citizenship, address these guiding questions. What does it mean to be media literate? What are the responsibilities of critically media literate citizens? In the middle school thematic guide, students are being asked to move towards analysis and evaluation of internet and social media sources. For instance, in the escape media analysis activity, students work individually or in partners to analyze 2 sources for evidence, source, context, audience, purpose, and execution. Escape. By the end of the lesson, the class reaches a consensus about which story is authentic and which is more likely fake news, based on the result of bias or sourcing. Students reflect on the prevalence of fake news and how unvetted information threatens our democracy by undermining truth and by prioritizing one set of voices over another. The class will discuss a question from the text, The Media and Me. How might the framing of media messages influence the way we make sense of real-world scenarios? Now, students can be encouraged to use this method, escape, every time they're listening to current event news. And in this way, they can be informed citizens, ready and able to discuss and defend their points of view. In the high school guide, Teaching Media Literacy, Leadership, student activities focus on the following question. How can young people lead the charge against influences that diminish their ability to think critically, to find common ground, and to remain civil both in person and online? In the high school thematic guide, students are engaging in media leadership activities and scenarios. In the Take a Stand protocol, students are offered practice in civil discourse and critical thinking. Two of the guide's texts, The Shame Machine and The Hype Machine, delve into the rise of online hate speech. In the Take a Stand activity, students are asked to consider the definition of hate speech by listening to a podcast, reading a news article, annotating their thoughts, and having a discussion with classmates. Now, ultimately, students are asked to consider if their thinking has changed based on the text and on their classmates' perspectives, and to apply their learning to a broader landscape. At the end of the lesson, the teacher poses several timely and relevant questions for class discussion, including, is there a line between free speech and hate speech? The guide also includes a link to the hashtag No to Hate tips sheet, which discusses pausing before posting, fact-checking what you're seeing, and reporting hate speech. Many of the activities in these teaching guides incorporate protocols like Take a Stand. These protocols provide intentional frameworks designed to engage students in respectful discourse and in critical thinking, including the opportunity to add to or change their thinking based on what they've seen and heard in the lesson. So that's a brief introduction to Penguin Random House Education's 3 thematic guides on teaching media literacy. If you'd like to check them out in their entirety, they are free and available online. I've reposted links here and a QR code on the screen, so you might want to take a screenshot or a cell phone picture. What you can also find at these links is some of our other teaching guides on texts and topics like teaching nonfiction reading, teaching civics, teaching poetry, and much more. Consider integrating these important media literacy and other skills into your curriculums. Students will for sure benefit from and enjoy them. And again, thank you.